I was just 19 when I got locked up. 19. I should have been worrying about school, girls, music, maybe a job, normal stuff. But instead, I was standing in a courtroom, wearing a suit that didn't fit, hearing a judge read out 10. Years like it was nothing. 10 years. That's a whole lifetime when you're that young. I grew up on the south side of Chicago. The kind of neighborhood where sirens were normal, where you knew the sound of gunshots better than fireworks. My mom worked her fingers to the bone to keep food on the table. My dad, I couldn't tell you where he was. Left when I was a kid. After a while, I stopped asking about him. The streets became my father. The older guys in the neighborhood, they were like my big brothers. They had cars, money, respect. At least, that's what it looked like. I wanted that. I wanted out of struggle. I didn't know any better. By the time I was 16, I was hustling, selling small stuff, running with a crew. It was fast money. Felt good at first. But I couldn't see that every dollar was another chain tightening around my neck. I was blind, honestly. Thought I was living. But I was walking straight toward a cage. Then one night, things went sideways. Real bad. A robbery. A man got shot. I didn't pull the trigger, but I was there. And when you're there, the law says you're just as guilty. It didn't matter that I didn't mean for anyone to get hurt. It didn't matter that I was scared. Out of my mind, what mattered was that someone got hurt, and I was part of it. So there I was, barely old enough to drink, sentenced to a decade behind bars. I remember the clank of the cell door closing that first night. That sound haunted me. Still does sometimes. Prison changes you. That first year, I was angry all the time. I got into fights. Didn't talk to anybody. Didn't care. I thought my life was over. That I'd die in there or worse, come out the same man and just end up back inside. But then I met Mr. Leroy. He was an older dude, been in there longer than most of us. He used to be a teacher before his life went left. He'd see me sitting in the corner, and every now and then he'd say, "You got a mind on you, kid. Don't waste it." I ignored him at first. Thought he was just another old head, trying to lecture me. But one day he handed me a book, the autobiography of Malcolm X. I don't know what made me open it. Maybe I was bored. Maybe I was tired of my own thoughts. But that book cracked something open in me. I saw myself in Malcolm young, lost, angry at the world, caught in the system. But he changed. He grew. He educated himself. He found purpose. I wanted that. I started reading more books about history, about black leaders, about the justice system. I read poetry, fiction, anything I could get my hands on. I started writing too about my life, my thoughts, my regrets. I began to feel human again. Eventually, I signed up for classes in prison. Got my GED. Then I heard about a program that let inmates take college courses. I thought, why not? I applied, got accepted, and 4 years later, I had my associate's degree. A tea might have been just a small ceremony in a prison gym with no cap and gown, no family in the audience, but that day I felt proud. I had accomplished something real. For the first time in a long time, I saw a version of myself I could be proud of. When I finally got out, things didn't magically get better. I came back to a world that didn't want me. I couldn't get a decent job. Couldn't even rent an apartment with a felony on my record. People looked at me like I was trash. But I didn't let it break me. I moved in with my cousin on the west side. Got a night job at a warehouse, lifting boxes and cleaning floors. During the day, I went back to school, this time on the outside. I enrolled at a community college, then transferred to the University of Illinois at Chicago. I studied sociology because I needed to understand why the system chewed up kids like me and spit us out. IT wasn't easy. I had to work twice as hard to be seen as half as smart. Some professors looked at me sideways. Some students didn't want to work with me once they found out about my past. But I kept going. I kept showing up, and I graduated with honors. You know what's wild? Now I teach. I walk into classrooms full of students who have never been near a prison, and I teach them about justice, about inequality, about how this system is built to fail certain people. I tell them my story. At first, they don't believe me. They say, You were in prison? And I smile. Because yeah, I was. Now I stand at the front of the class. I have a title. I have degrees. But more than anything, I have purpose. I still go back to my neighborhood, not because I have to, not because I'm trying to prove anything. I go back because that place is a part of me. The cracked sidewalks, the corner store, the basketball court with the bent rim they raised. Me. And I know there are kids out there now, walking those same streets, feeling the same weight I once did. So I show up. Sometimes I pull up in my old beat-up car, nothing flashy. I walk down the block and see the young brothers huddled on the corner, just like I used to be. Hoodies on, eyes sharp, always watching. Some of them nod. Some keep their heads down. But I walk up anyway. I don't come at them like I'm better. I don't preach. I just talk. I say, I know it feels like this is all there is. These same blocks. The same grind. The same hurt passed down like a hand-me-down coat. But it's not. There's more. I promise you there's more. And you deserve to see it. You deserve to know what it feels like to be free, not just from a cell, but from the mindset that says you're not enough. Some of them listen. Their eyes soften, even just a little. Some ask questions. They're curious. How do you do it? Was it hard? Do you think I could? Others brush me off, say, Man, that's cool for you, but it don't work like that for everybody, and I get it. I do. Because I used to say the same thing. I didn't believe in dreams either. Not when every day felt like survival. But I keep talking anyway, because maybe that one sentence I say will stick with them. Maybe one night, when everything feels heavy, they'll remember my words. And maybe that'll be the start of their change. I tell them I made mistakes. Big ones. I paid the price. But I also found a way to heal. I tell them that the world might try to write them off, call them a statistic, a problem, a lost cause, but I see something different. I see potential. I see young kings who just need someone to believe in them before they can believe in themselves, because I got a second chance. And I didn't waste it. I turned my pain into power. I took the worst chapter of my life and used it as a foundation to build something better. I didn't do it alone. People helped me, believed in me when I didn't even believe in myself. Now I try to be that for someone else. I tell them, you can write a new chapter. You can flip the script. You're not stuck in the story they gave you. You can create your own, from prisoner to professor. That's not just a headline. That's not some feel-good tale to sell books or make speeches. That's my life, my truth, my journey. And if I can change, if I can crawl out of the darkness, out of that cold prison cell, and find my purpose, then anyone can. All it takes is a spark, a choice, a moment of believing there's more to life than what we see in front of us. I'm living proof, and I'm not done yet.